At the center of all this is, the responsibility of building a Bitcoin denominated world, right? If you go to Ethereum and you go to Solana, everything is denominated in the network token of those ecosystems. Ethereum and Solana are at worst a stablecoin. That's the reason why there is no actually sustainable yield for Bitcoin in these other ecosystems, because if you're trying to capitalize on arbitrage, you're trying to capitalize on some liquidation event, you don't borrow Bitcoin to go and buy Fartcoin or borrow Bitcoin to buy Uniswap. You borrow the native network token in Aave, and then you go and capitalize on that trade. So that's why the native yield for Bitcoin on Aave is like 0.2% APY, because there really isn't any demand to borrowing that asset. So
Yeah.
really the major opportunity of this cycle is building a Bitcoin denominated financial system so that it creates demand for borrowing Bitcoin, not just borrowing stable coins against your Bitcoin. When you have demand for Bitcoin, that's where the yield comes from, because the traders are willing to pay interest and the liquidity providers are making that interest instead of relying on these inflationary incentives that really subsidize the yield. There is not really a lot of DeFi yield for Bitcoin. There's just these inflationary points that get put on top of that very, very small amount of yield. So again, I think it's really going to be interesting to watch the expectations of that yield grow, and how comfortable liquidity providers are going to be for participating in those new types of protocols as they start to posture up.